Bonus!
Piper Leo! Crew, what the hell is going on? Oh, look out! Piper, now!
Here are these words. Hear the rhyme.
Crew, Piper, page, book!
Hear now the words of the witches.
Keep it going, Phoebe.
Hear now the words of the witches.
The words of the witches. The words of the witches.
Crew, Piper, page, keep chanting.
Hear now the words of the
Keep it
witches.
going, Phoebe. Keep it going.
Hear now the words of the
Keep chanting.
Words of the witches.
Hear now the words.
The words of the witches. The story.
Crew, Piper, page, book! Keep chanting.
Hear now the words of the witches.
Keep chanting.
What ass backward spell did you guys cast?
This is Kevin, and welcome to Words of the Witches.
Hear now the words of the witches.
Piper, page, book!
The words of the witches. The words of the witches. The words of the witches. Hear now the words of the witches.
Keep chanting.
Hear now the words of the witches.
Well, hello, this is Words of the Witches. I am Kevin, and today we have a very special bonus episode to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Charmed. Oh my gosh, it's been that long. And joining me from the UK is Wayne. Hello.
Hi.
I'm
Hi.
excited to have you on this podcast because I
Yeah,
wanted to use
it's
this
been a long
beginning.
time coming, I think.
Yeah, you are kind of Mr. Charmed in a lot of ways.
Some would say, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So what is your relationship to Charmed? How did you discover it and that kind of stuff?
Well, probably is slightly different to a lot of other people because, as you know, I'm a big Buffy fan.
Yeah.
And, back in the day, it was kind of a bit controversial to be a Buffy fan and a Charmed fan. You couldn't really be both. Maybe in my circles anyway. So I was
They had you-
hardcore into
yeah.
Buffy. And Buffy finished. And then I was home from college one day at lunch and then put the TV on and Charmed was on. And as soon as I saw it, I was just like, wow, what have I been missing out on? So I think it was season 3, I think. The whole Cole and Phoebe storyline was season 3.
Three? Yeah.
Yeah, so then I ended up just buying all the DVDs up to that point and binged them. Got slightly obsessed with it, the same as I did with Buffy as well. So, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still haven't even finished Buffy yet.
Oh really? Oh, you have to. Yeah.
I know, I need to. Because Buffy was on. I never had pressure to pick a side with it when I was growing up, but I don't know, connect with it the same way in that moment when I was younger.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
I watched it very casually. Like I didn't not like it, but I just watched it very casually. So
I mean, they're quite similar. I think like if you're a fan of one, you're probably going to be chances are you'll be a fan of the other.
Yeah. Right. So, I know this is going to be a little bit of a subject, but we'll say what you need to say. So, half of this collection is from you.
Yes.
You
Maybe not me.
you are quite a skilled craftsman of sorts. You went to school for that, right?
Yeah, so I studied it. Well, I've always kind of been a bit of geeky in terms of the stuff I make. But
Yeah.
I went to university and studied prop making and stuff like that for TV and film. So, and then obviously my skills overlap with my interests, and
Yeah.
you see the results.
Right. So you had a website where you made and sold some amazing Charmed things.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
were very popular.
It was, yeah. The fans did seem to love it. Yeah. Yeah. Made by a fan for the fans, I guess.
Can we say the name?
Sure. Why not? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were in charge of Prescott Manor,
Yeah.
which, it was amazing. It was a beautiful place to go.
Thank you.
Um,
I enjoyed it.
yeah.
So it was very close to my heart. I do enjoy, Charmed and
Yeah. And I know,
ran its course. It was, but I think the fans appreciated it, and
yeah, you are definitely missed. But you're still out there making Buffy statues and stuff, so that's really
Sure.
cool.
yeah, I just love, I love what I love, So
Yeah, I know everyone's shouting at the screen right now. Why aren't they telling me why it shut down? I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm like, they want the
a
answers,
long
but
yeah, just say out there, powers that be, and leave it at
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's just we're gonna just not get into it, but it's very missed and it's very special.
Thank
Um,
you, thank you.
so yeah, I'm proud to have a lot of what you made, and it makes you feel like you're here with me too.
Uh, Little pieces of me.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, October 7th, 1998, 25 years ago. Also, your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. That's crazy coincidence, right?
Yeah, it's
Born on the
pretty
same day.
cool.
Yeah, a few years before.
Yeah, only a
Yeah,
few.
yeah. But yeah, I can't believe 25 years. That's insane.
Yeah,
And
and right,
it's still up there with like in terms of and I watch it more than most other shows, to be honest. Even stuff that's come out recently.
it's consistently getting new fans. People are discovering it.
Yeah.
With the whole streaming platforms that kind of made a resurgence come on too, despite all of the not real music that I
Oh,
don't
oh
I
yeah,
never I never watch it on streaming. I just hear about people watching it on streaming. So I'm like, let's get the
yeah.
DVD,
That's
let's
always a
get the
problem with
Blu-rays.
stuff like Netflix. They do it with a couple of shows,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But I guess also the remake probably brought in a few people.
Sure, they were curious, so
It didn't compare, not at all,
I
in my opinion.
haven't watched the new one. I can't say, but
Nah,
it
stick,
wasn't my kind of thing.
stick with the
Just from
original.
the preview. But we're not here to talk about that one. We're here to talk about
Nah,
the
the
OG,
real
the
one. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? I forget now. But we're gonna talk about lots of different things.
Mm,
Um, I have a whole list of 25 memories that I had from all the years, and I had more. It was weird making the list because I was trying to do one for each year that it existed, so specific years,
right.
which is tricky because like some years I have like a lot of memories. Some years
Yeah.
it's like this was like a dead space, and then so it
Yeah, I
was
guess that
funny.
back in the day when it came out, I guess it would have been uh, less of a chance to go to conventions and stuff, right?
Right, conventions weren't a thing, but
Yeah,
it was all happening in real time. So a lot of those memories were just come from having this brand new show, not knowing what's coming and experiencing for the first time and talking to your friends at school and
yeah. No Twitter either.
no
So,
Twitter. Yeah.
uh,
It was weird because when I was growing up watching the show, I was very isolated in my bubble. I didn't know anybody who was as crazy a fan as me.
right. Oh yeah, yeah. I get that feeling. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that.
And so once you discover the internet and the whole community has come together, it was like, whoa, there are other nuts.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was less common, I think, for
Mhm.
people to be like very openly sort of geeky into that sort of stuff. At least in my
Right.
school, anyway, because I was the Buffy nerd in school, so everyone knew about it, and
Yeah.
so it was kind of like teased upon. But nowadays, it's celebrated,
Yeah.
so that's
It
progress.
is. Like everybody who was teased for being a nerd in high school is now like the master. Everyone asks them the questions and wants to know the stuff. So,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, everyone finally caught up.
So yeah, so I made a list of 25 memories, and we're just gonna
Yeah,
talk about them. I'm gonna reveal them to you, and we'll talk about them.
go
I
for
don't. Did you come up with those 25? Or just gonna say whatever?
it. Yeah, I didn't make a list, but I've got a couple of stand-up memories. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let
Okay.
you
So
start off.
all right. Well, let's go from like the first year. I mean, when you first discovered it. So my first year, 1998, I was there the first day. I saw it on the original air date. Every episode on original air date.
Right.
Uh, I was 10, going on 11. I was turning 11 at the end of the month,
Mm,
and this was the second episode. I'm gonna say from the second episode. That was I've Got You Under My Skin. I remember watching the first one and I fell in love with it. The
yeah.
next week came, I was watching the second episode, and my mom was home and she's like, "What are you watching?" It was right at the scene when Phoebe got the premonition of Javna and she ran back to her car and then she got like taken.
Right.
She's like, "This is too scary for you," and she shut it off on me. I was like, "No, I'm watching it.
Oh
You're not
no.
old enough for this."
It's quite
Uh,
quite a freaky episode.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's creepy old demons. She's like, "Yeah, this is too scary for you." but then she left the room and I turned it back on. And luckily, when she turned it off, it was a commercial break, so
Right.
I didn't miss anything.
Lucky. Yeah. That's cool.
So yeah. So what about when you first saw the show?
So yeah, I was in college, and I think I'd come home for my lunch, and that's why I was just flicking through the TV, and then I did write the episode down. I think it was Power Outrage, season 3.
Outage.
Power Outage, yeah.
Mhm.
Dictated that wrong. Yeah, so it's the episode where Cole splits up the sisters, and he has Phoebe, and he's like, he attempts to kill her, and then he just doesn't. Yeah.
The book goes.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. And I remember just watching it and thinking, oh, that's pretty. That's my sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then ended up buying the DVDs because it was back. I was season 3, so I was already 2 seasons behind.
Season 3 is Prime though, so I get
Yeah.
that's the way to get in.
Yeah. No. So then I was just kind of hooked after that, and then I think I was watching reruns as well. So I don't think it was currently season 3. I think there were reruns of season 3. So it would have been about 2003 maybe 2004.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah.
So I had a lot to catch up on, which I didn't mind.
Of course.
Yeah, not at all.
My second memory. My mom has a lot to do with my memories, and thank you again for the card you sent me, because
Oh, you're welcome.
it's been a time, and I still think about her all the time. I have dreams about her, so
Of course.
yeah,
Of course,
I miss
man.
her a lot. But this was really nice. In 1999-2000 year, my mom, she was afraid of the internet. She did not want to put her credit card on the internet.
Right.
She went against her fear and got me the season 1 trading cards for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
That was what, aside from the novels that I was buying at Barnes and Noble, that was like the first memorabilia I ever got from Charmed.
Right.
So
I'm guessing you
that
still
was
have
very
those
special.
in your
Oh,
collection
of
somewhere.
course. I have
Yeah.
everything.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of missed all that. I think the only thing I ever got was some of the stickers for the sticker book. They were,
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was from Italy, so it was a completely different name.
Yeah, we didn't get a sticker book here. Jealous.
No, I remember hunting them down because they had like little versions of the Book of Shadow pages inside.
Oh,
I think
fun.
that's where a lot of the early pages came from, the stickers. So I had to hunt them down on eBay.
Gotcha. And yeah, you kind of sparked because you have such an interest in the pages and creating the book over there.
It got to the point where I could, like, especially at conventions when people, because I used to take my book to conventions for fans to take photos with, and they'd ask about a specific page, and I'd be able to just flick through the book and sort of almost always know whereabouts the page was. Yeah,
That's so cool.
I love it. It's a great prop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So give us another memory then.
Okay. From the year 2000 to 2001, I remember, and this was happening like around season 3 and 4 time, going to the WB website, the official WB website, and they used to have like little screen captures of the episode, and like these little kind of square rectangle pictures, and I went through every single one and downloaded every single picture for my computer.
For your records. Nice.
Yes,
That's dedication,
had all those. I was very excited. I mean, they only had like maybe it was like a block of maybe 16 pictures, but I got all of them. And then I would go to like the fan sites, because those are big at the time. They don't exist anymore, but the fan sites, and they had screen caps, and I would just like download them all because I couldn't even I couldn't get the episodes anymore, so I relived them through the pictures, the captures.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah. I remember there was a couple websites that I used to go to that had like information about the Book of Shadows and stuff on, like, back in the day. There was like animated GIFs and stuff of people who made of the book and stuff. So that was back in the old days.
You just scavenge all over the place back in the day on the internet. Like find what you could and roll with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Now we get into 2000, 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the year, I remember I was in, what was it, 7th grade? No, I graduated in 8th grade. So I was in 7th grade when I heard the rumors that Shannon might be leaving. And I was like, and I was like, heartbroken because I was real in it at this point. I was like, no. And they had the petitions sign the petitions to keep Shannon on. I'm like,
Oh,
obviously,
gee.
petitions
See, I
like
didn't,
that
I
don't
didn't
really go.
realize that was. I didn't realize it was a known rumor at the time.
Yes, I mean, maybe not people who are casual watchers, but people who were in it. But
Right.
even there were reports. They're like, oh yeah, and I remember hearing the things in the air, like they're trying to like recast it and la la la. You can see who was in the running and everything. But when I first heard the rumors, I'm like, it's not true. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Um, but then by the time when it aired, I knew it was the end. We already had the news before that.
Right.
Uh, but so I was like really trying to get her to stay on. And remember, there was the Entertainment Tonight where she went on and talked about it. They really covered the departure pretty heavily in the media. So
Jeez. Yeah, because I was completely unaware, so I didn't like when I finally got to the episode of All Hell Breaks Loose. It is All Hell Breaks
yeah,
Loose. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I was completely shocked. I didn't. And it's not often that a show would kill one of the characters off and then
Right.
continue on for a long
And
time.
even then, at the end of the episode, you don't know if anybody's dead. It could have been
No.
any of them, and they kind of
Yeah.
said that like any one of them could have left.
Yeah.
Could have been.
How do you feel about that? Would you prefer they would have recast the character, or are you happy with the way they? Well, say happy. Do you think they went the right way about it?
Yeah, I really don't like when they cast new actors in the same role because
Mm.
we know it's not the same. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it's much better to just make it make sense for the story and have a new character and honor her in other ways.
Yeah. It's a controversial point.
Right. I feel like
Well,
if you recast it, I kept thinking of like Courtney Cox at the time reminded me a lot of Shannon
yeah.
from Friends. I'm like she would have been cool, but it's like I know it's different, and it would irk me if to pretend like you were there the whole time.
Yeah. 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 Because I think they did it well. I do enjoy the episodes with Paige. So it's
Yeah.
obviously it's a shame, but the show it does well to continue with what he had to do. But it must have devastated. I bet he was devastated.
I cried so many. I
Yeah.
mean, I built shrines and everything. It was yeah.
Trying to bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. What do I have next? Oh, I have memorizing audio quotes and regurgitating them at friends' houses. So I had like audio clips of like dialogue that I would have memorized, and I would repeat it exactly with exact intonation and word for word at friends' house. And when they would put in episodes, then I would run in there and just say the whole episode with them. Like, shut up!
That's the actor in you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So you're about to around 2002, so I'm always about to join you.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay. Okay, now we're in 2003, 2004.
hmm
Okay. So this is when I got to high school, and I had a religion class, and we had like to do a video project. I don't remember anything about the project except for at the end of it, I yelled "Charmed Rocks," and then I ran out the door. and then they filmed it, so then they played all of our projects for the school again, and they remember like, oh, here's Kevin doing the Charmed Rocks. That cemented me as like the charmed crazy person in high school.
Right. So that's where you
So-
got your name.
Yeah. So that was fun.
So that 2000, you say 2003, 2004.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's when I sort of started getting into it like properly. I think.
Okay. So we're
Yeah.
in it now. So you were
joined up.
so you watched like season 4 onwards in like real time?
I think very possibly. I'm not sure because I was catching up with. I remember buying the DVDs after I sort of got into it after watching it because there's a channel here called UK Gold, and that's when they do like reruns, and sometimes they'd have like 4 episodes back to back.
Gotcha.
But obviously I had to go back to school, so I didn't get to watch them. So I think I started watching season. I think possibly season 5 as it aired.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't be sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's when
Because
my little obsession started too.
Because
So.
5 would have been 2003 to 2004, right? 5. Yeah, I think that's right. Because season 6 started in 2004. So in 2004, 2005, that's when they started putting out the action figures, the Soda Toys action figures.
Right. Yeah.
I remember getting those. I remember the different kind of prototypes they had for them. There's a couple different looks. I remember
Different colour
they
outfits.
yeah, and they did season 5 page for a while, and then
There was a
changed.
controversy with the Page figure because I think the episode it's based on, she has blonde hair, I think.
Oh,
Or like
you're talking about for the series, because they made
But
her
then
like the
I
season
think,
6 figure, where the other two
and
were season
I
5
remember
figures.
seeing, there was an interview with Rose McGowan, and I think she was saying that she actually told them that she didn't want the action figure to have the strawberry blonde hair. She wanted the action figure to have brown hair. So I think there's a few that have blonde, and then the rest of them have brown, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like, yeah, can
They're
remember
great
those.
figures, though.
Yeah, because remember the season 5 prototype, and then you're right, there was a season 6 blonde prototype. Seeing
Yeah.
that I have a brown hair one. But yeah, she's definitely based off a season 6 page instead of the 5 ones. But then they went and made series 2 and made the Valhalla figures.
I love
And
those.
she had brown hair in that too. I'm like, well, that's
Yeah.
that's a bad one, because
And
she had
that's a stark difference.
right, because
Yeah.
if you look at the episode, she did not have the dark hair in that episode. You can't cheat
No.
that one.
Yeah,
So
but I really those figures are great because I was back in that time I was collecting the Buffy figurines.
oh
the,
yeah,
the 6-inch figures. So I was like heavily involved in like forums and stuff, and the Charm figures were always discussed, and because they're great, I think they're great quality as well. And the Leo ones is great.
yeah, the Gladiator Leo. His shoulder popped off on mine. I was like, rude.
Oh, yeah, that was a common thing with the figures back then. I think you'd open them up and the bits would just fall off.
But I think that's also the year, like during season 6 starting, where I started my Charmed fan site called Charmed Obsessed,
Oh,
and I had a fan site,
very
and
well named.
it was well named. I was obsessed. I made it Charmed Obsessed, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I did it on GeoCities, so I made it really easy to make your website,
Right.
and I would post like real time stuff like these are the episodes coming forward. These are the synopses we have, the upcoming episodes that haven't aired yet.
Jeez. That is dedication.
Yeah, and then I had like a whole power section. I had a guest book people could sign. I was giving all the information I could try, then it just died. But
I think that was about the same time I had a website, a GeoCities.
Yeah. yeah,
And it was where I first posted images of my my first ever Charmed book replica.
oh yeah,
And it had like the really like old school animated GIFs and a little counter. And I remember, spent a lot of time on that website.
yeah. Those are the days of the MIDI, the MIDI music.
Oh,
And
yeah.
MySpace and
Simpler times.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
See, so people who are listening to this who have been around it from the beginning, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
'Cause
I think that was about that time there was like conventions going on. We have like conventions in London, not as frequently as you guys have in America, but we do have them here. And I remember going to meet Grams.
Oh, Jennifer Rhodes.
Jennifer Rhodes, yeah. And I was only, 16, 17, I think, maybe, 17. But I know her from a horror movie called Night of the Demons 2.
Very nice.
And I have a vivid memory of meeting her, and I got her to sign my Book of Shadows. And then I said to her like, "Oh, I love you in Night of the Demons," and she was like, "You shouldn't have been watching that film. It's rated 18." So, yeah.
I messaged her on Twitter, and I was trying to get her to come on this podcast, and she did say yes, but then kind of like stopped talking to me.
Oh.
Well, she didn't like stop. She still talks to me, but she like, every time I mention the podcast, she like kind of like
Backed
gets
off.
freaked out or something.
Yeah.
Because I think she doesn't know technology, and she's as afraid of sounding stupid on the podcast.
Right.
So I'm not going to pressure her anymore. But I was like, oh, because she's like, yes, but no, I'm scared. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
The only reason she's on House of Hallowell because she was on there, but Drew had to go over her house and literally set it up for her. So
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, because I think she's quite involved with the fans, isn't she? Like.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's on Twitter a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've got her on Facebook. I think.
I have a Facebook too, but I don't see her post as much there.
No. But I've met her a couple of times because she was at a convention that I went to in Paris. I think there was a Charmed and Buffy convention in Paris.
2014, Witches and Warlock or Witches and Werewolves? Yeah.
Yes.
Witches and Vampires, something like that.
That was Witches and Vampires. That was a fantastic convention because it was.
I'm so sad I missed it. That's before I started
yeah.
traveling internationally, like real, like.
Did you plan to go? Like,
No, I didn't know about it because I didn't
right.
really do cons then. I was doing just local cons, but I
Mhm.
didn't. It wasn't something I traveled for. I didn't even go out of state for cons at that point. So
Right. I mean, it was a great convention to be fair. Like Paris isn't far from London. Like, you can get a
no,
train there. But I think we drove, we possibly drove there, and that was a bit
easy.
of a mission. But it was a great convention, man. It was.
Mm, I'm so
Yeah.
sad. It has been great because there's a lot of them there.
Yeah.
I saw all the pictures. I'm like, oh, fine.
I think I think there was one recently, and Alyssa and Julian were there in
Yeah,
Paris.
I was there.
Oh, you went there? Yeah.
I went there.
Oh, lucky. See,
That's on my memory list. You're cutting ahead.
right. Oh, sorry.
All right. So now we're in 2005, 2006. So this was the year Trump ended, and I made my last fan music video because I used to do music videos, FMVs.
Yeah, I did some of those for YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun making those. It's like, how can I make this song match with the picture and have it like timed perfectly? It was a lot of fun. I geeked out.
Yeah. Yeah. I always love good old Windows Movie Maker.
Exactly, Windows
Yeah.
Movie Maker, and then I started using like other ones later on. But Windows Movie Maker was the one because it was built into the computer already. You
Yeah.
know, ooh, look at this transition. Ooh, look at this. And I always had it under my Charmed Obsessed website moniker. I always had that at the end of the videos. Like,
Right.
uh,
That
uh,
is pure dedication you got there, man.
yeah. I mean, my love for Charmed is super like all consuming.
Everyone's got that, and everyone's got their something they love.
Yeah. This was also the year I traveled to France for the first time because I was in a French class, learning the language, and we went with a class trip to Paris. And
Oh.
but I stayed with a French family in rural France, like in Poirier near Provence,
Hmm.
and Charmed was on. 'Cause Charmed is huge in France. It got really big there too. I
Yeah.
think the French are like really insane about it. UK people too.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember watching Charmed in French. I was like, oh, something new. Oh, how exciting!
Oh, so you speak pretty good French, do you?
I'm adept. I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm a little rusty. I can get things by, but yeah.
Right. Because
I was,
we used to study French in school, but I never
yeah.
really picked up on it. And then I started doing conventions in Paris. So I thought maybe I should learn a bit of French. So I started learning a bit of French, but then just never
Yeah.
picked up. So
I kind of tried to revive it a little bit because I was in Paris like twice this year now. Uh,
jeez.
so it's been fun to actually use it. I did use it when I was traveled. I was there for 9 days in March, and then for the weekend here in September. So, and I've been
Great.
using it. So I was like, all right, cool.
Sweet. Sweet.
All right, here it is. 2006, 2007. This is when a bunch of those props that were from the show went onto eBay.
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember I looked at them watching them. I'm like, I can't afford any of this. I'm so mad and so jealous, and I
Yeah.
can't buy this.
God, yeah, that was like a fan dream because that was the first time where you got references for a lot of these stuff that wasn't on screen.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
You're probably on it too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, they're not as easy to find nowadays. I probably got them on a hard drive somewhere,
Yeah.
but they're like gold dust. Those things when companies do that, it's very much appreciated.
I remember watching the actual set used spirit board being on there. I was like, but I think it was Soda Toys that ended up buying it, and that's what they made them use to make their replica, which doesn't look anything like the whatever.
Yeah,
It's
I've never understood. Do you know it's yeah, I remember being in touch with a company. It's called It's a Wrap.
Yes.
Yeah,
They still have some of the stuff.
They had the original Dollhouse.
Yeah, they still do.
They still got it. Yeah.
It's on display in Los Angeles in one of
Right.
their stores. They have it on display. You can go look at
Right.
it.
Yeah, because I was talking to I remember talking to the man who works there, and we were talking about it and just sort of fizzled out with it. But I'd love to see that because I was in. You say it was in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you're there going to see the real Manor, you can go and see the toy Manor too.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
Two.
cool.
There's the one you gave me, and then this one.
Very cool. God, yeah. Yeah, you need to go and get the real one from LA.
Yeah, right. He's like, how much? All right.
Yeah.
So now I have 2007, 2008, this was the end of the official Charmed magazine. That magazine went on for 2 years,
Right.
and then that ended. So I was a little sad that the magazine was getting over now too. I was like, oh.
Jeez.
But
Yeah, I never collected the magazine, but I used to work in the little news agents when I was a teenager. So
okay,
we always had it. We always had it on the shelf, so I always read it. But I had a few. I bought a few issues because they had the Book of Shadow pages.
yes,
It's,
yes, they did.
yes. So that was like, I think that was the first time where they had like really good quality
Hmm.
pages. I think maybe got 20 pages.
Well
I think.
printed.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, we'll be covering the magazines on this podcast as well.
Hmm.
So that's a future season.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, 2008, 2009. I made a sibling power battle video with my younger sister Sarah, and we had a battle where I was like testing it. 'Cause this is where I got Sony Vegas, where I got to like really get to do keyframing and really do some hardcore video editing. And I was like, "Ooh,
Right.
I can stop it. I can do freezing time, and I can do like reverse the footage, and I can go like I'm doing telekinesis and things fly and stuff." So we had a power battle where I had telekinesis and she could freeze time, and we just like experimented with the editing. It's on
Very
YouTube
cool.
still, called
I
Random
think
Power.
like, you may have shown me that before. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
Random Sibling Power Battle, I think I called it. So, all right. 2009, 2010, I put finding my collection of school art projects that I saved because they were always Charmed related. So in junior high, in high school, every time we had a school project, I had it related to Charmed. I was always hiding a
Right.
trick picture in there. I remember we did like a yarn, we had to do like yarn, a picture, and I did the
Yeah,
Golden Gate Bridge with the sun being the trick picture.
that's cool. That's cool.
I still have it. Um, yeah, just every little thing we did, I have them somewhere over there. So,
Very cool, man. That's yeah, we've got the same sort of obsession. I definitely like my art in school. Definitely had influence
yeah.
the stuff that I was watching at the time. There.
If you're passionate about it, it's gonna be good work, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right. 2010, 2011, I put fantasizing about a charmed fighting video game because I was really into video games at this point too. Like,
Yeah, I'm so shocked that they never did it.
yeah, yeah. Because that would have been great. It was during like the whole Smash Brothers craze and Melee,
Mhm.
and then all of them. So I was like, oh, they can do like a charmed one. I played the X-Men Next Dimension fighting game too.
Yeah,
Like that would have been really
definitely a
cool.
missed opportunity.
Yeah, and then you can think of all the different like background settings. You can like we'll do the manor, we'll do like the Golden Gate Bridge, we'll do like Magic
Underworld.
School, whatever,
Yeah,
Underworld. Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be fun.
We need a game developer.
See, I mean, there's still time. There's still time.
Yeah.
Okay, then I put 2011, 2012, buying issue 0 of the Charmed comic book. So it was before they started being released, but they had the issue.
The source book, they
Yes,
called it, right?
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And we covered all the comics already so far of the
Hmm.
Zenoscope run. So we did have a nice little episode on that issue. But I remember buying that, and then I didn't. That's the only one I got. I think that one, and then the first issue were the only ones that I got, like the single issue at that time.
Copies. Yeah.
And I was just awaiting for the volumes to come out. I would wait till they had a compilation, then I buy the volume, and then I got all the single issues after. So,
Right. Yeah, I think I remember getting the source book and the first issue because I remember the cover for the first issue was really really nice.
yeah.
Really like it's like a really really great drawing. So I remember getting those, but I think I had to import those because comic
Oh
books are
yeah.
really hard to get here. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Was that
Yeah.
2010?
Yeah. Yeah. The first, because 2011. No,
Right.
is it? I don't remember. 'Cause I think it started coming out in 2010 or 2000, something around that time. Remember the Deviant Art stuff? I can't remember
Hmm.
when the first one was released. I have to go back to my episodes and listen. But from like 2010, 2016 were the season 9 and 10. It was lasted a long time. Like,
Jeez.
it only came out like every month or every other month or something like that. So it
How many
was
seasons did they end up doing in the comics?
just two, season 9 and
Right.
10.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and then,
remember seeing. I dipped in and out, but I don't think I ever read them. I'm not the biggest comic reader, to be honest.
okay. Well, if you ever feel like knowing the story, we got you
Yeah.
covered because I just covered all those seasons on the
I
podcast.
check it. I know they had the whole thing with patience. I was
Uh huh.
quite like, yeah, but other than that,
Yeah. It's
I'll have to check
it's
them out.
really well done. I cried quite a bit in the comics too.
Oh, really?
There are a lot of really nice moments.
Was it a faithful continuation then, you think?
I think so. I mean, there are a lot of fans that don't like them,
Mhm.
and try to disregard them, but I really like what they did with it. Season 10 especially really kind of brought things back into a very smaller emotional, a lot of redemption arc for Cole. I thought they handled Prue really well. Um,
I will definitely have to check them out.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Completionist.
exactly. Okay, now I have 2012, 2013, acquiring a collection of miniature Book of Shadows and comparing it to the first one I made out of a matchbox and post-it notes.
What?
I still have that one too. Is it over there somewhere?
A matchbook Book of Shadows.
Yeah, so it was like a matchbox that I cut apart and I just kind of hollowed it out and made like kind of like a binding thing.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then
good
I
idea.
and then I colored it. We had like gel pens. I colored it with gel pen. I drew a trick on there. And there's a little border around the trick colored the green in, made little brown corners, and and then I took a bunch of post-it notes, cut it up to fit inside there, and then I glued it in.
It's a good idea. It's a good
Yeah,
idea.
me and my sister were
Self-made
doing that.
binding that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was very excited. So then at this point, I had like all these little, because I had the action figures and I had other ones I was collecting, like the tiny ones. I'm like, oh, so these are what the really nice ones look like.
Because
But,
yeah, yeah. God, you must have
yeah,
treasures hidden in there.
yeah. I mean, you can see how ingrained it was into my psyche that it's like everything I did had to do with it.
Yeah, no, this still
Okay.
does.
Yeah, right. 2013, 2014, I put me pretending to do Prue's telekinesis every time I go through an automatic door.
I mean, you still
Going to
do.
grocery store, going to Walgreens or whatever. I'm always just like, every time I still do it.
Yeah, it's just habit now.
Yeah. I go, or something like that. I do All right. Okay, this one didn't happen at this time, but I needed a spot filled. So this actually
Mm.
happened later. But it was on my other podcast that I had called Hanging with the Halliwells with my friend Sean, who's been helping me on this show too. But we went over through seasons 6 through 8 of Charmed, episode by
Mm.
episode.
Right.
And when we finished that show, I said, okay, let me quiz myself. So I actually took the time and I listed every single episode of Charmed in order by memory.
Every single episode.
I know every
Oh,
single
as in
episode by heart.
from
Not the
from
not the words, but the titles, episode numbers and titles.
right. Well, from literally from episode 1 onwards.
Yeah,
Wow.
I say like something like this way comes. I got you under my skin. They giving up morphine, dead man dating. I would keep going down. So and I did it every single one. I was like, okay, season 1's done. Okay, let's do season 2. And then I was stressing because I never did that before on air in front of people. But yeah, I know them all.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. So that was a really cool memory for me. Oh, here's a kind of a hurtful memory.
Go on.
2015, 2016. This was at a convention. It was like after party, and someone asked me, and I think this was at like a gay bar of sorts, or gays were around. I don't know. But some guy asked me, he thought I was cute, and he's like, "So what do you love?" I'm like, "Charmed." and then he laughed in my face. He's like, "Oh, ew." I'm like, "All right."
Red flag.
Yeah. I'm like, "Well, thanks. Sorry. You go ahead and ask me what I love. You should have to accept anything because
Yeah. How rude.
yeah, it was very rude." I was like, "Well, that was very hurtful." So like,
Maybe you just didn't have any taste.
right. Like what you wanted me to say. So that was something. Okay, now we're getting into some convention territory. So 2016, 2017. This was the first time I met any of them.
Right.
I first met Holly and Brian at Wizard World Chicago.
Jeez.
And they're together. I remember Shannon was in Indianapolis at the time, which was only like another 2-hour drive away.
Or doing a convention.
Yeah, I'm like, why didn't I think to go there? Could have came here and went there the next day and done them all, but I didn't. I just saw both. I saw Holly and Brian 2 days in a row, which was good because the first day I couldn't form sentences at all, and
And when was this? 2016.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. So Holly and Brian were the first ones you met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And
Same.
yeah. I mean, they're
Um,
everywhere now. They almost saturate the market now at this point, but
Yeah, yeah. So that's crazy because I met Holly and Brian at a convention when I was visiting Florida. Actually,
oh,
I was going to
yeah.
Florida on holiday, and they just happened to be doing a convention 2 hotels over from where I was staying.
How
So
fun.
I remember taking my Book of Shadows in my backpack as my hand luggage. Forget everything else. My backpack was just filled with my Book of Shadows, and that would have been 2012,
Okay.
2013, I think. Yeah, they do seem to be the ones that they're always at the conventions. I think
All right.
they're the face of Charmed.
But I was awestruck because that was the very first time. I was like, all right. Now it's like I see them all the time now. It's like, all right. Hey,
Best friend.
2017, 2018. That's when I met Rose McGowan next.
Right.
And that was in Indianapolis, and that was cool because I thought for sure because I knew this was during the period that Holly and Shannon kind of just had their falling out, where they weren't seeing each other as much because they were doing conventions together all the time, and she was always
Right.
working. And so I thought for sure, oh, I'll meet Shannon in no time because they always do conventions together. And then that
Just
was
stop.
when nothing. So I was like, I missed my chance to see Shannon. So I met Rose McGowan then, and she was super cute, super adorable at that point, super short. They're all short. I mean,
Yeah.
compared to you, everyone's short. How tall are you now?
6'6".
6'6". Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got a picture with me and Holly where she just looks absolutely tiny. I love
She's a
it.
munchkin
Love it.
next to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. And then 2018, 2019, I got to meet you in
Oh
London.
yes. God yeah. Was it London? Oh, when you came to visit?
I came to
Was
visit-
that 2019?
2019.
Damn. Oh my goodness. That was just
Yeah.
before COVID.
Yeah, just before.
Oh my god.
I came.
Yeah, because
I-
that was when there was supposed to be a convention going on in
Mhm.
Birmingham, right?
That got canceled.
And that was where I was supposed to finally meet Rose McGowan.
Right.
But then it just completely just broke down. I remember there was like rumors that the convention was like in trouble, and then it was like I think Shannon. No, I think Rose McGowan posted something on Twitter saying something about like the convention. There's something fishy going on with the convention, and then all of a
Right.
sudden it just blew up, and it just went. And I was so upset because I was so excited to finally get to read.
I was too because I knew about like the witches and vampires convention. I knew all the ones that were happening in Paris before that. I'm like, this would be my chance to go to a charmed real convention, see other
Yeah.
charmed people, and
Yeah.
but I'm like, they canceled it. I'm like, I'm still going. I paid my money for that flight. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good
yeah,
time. It's
I
such
got
a shame though because they did two conventions previously in Birmingham,
Oh,
2 Charmed conventions. And
Yeah.
they were great. They were really great. That's where I got to meet a lot of people who I hadn't seen since conventions in France.
yeah.
So I was really excited for that one, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. It was such
Boom.
a shame.
But yeah, I got to see you. I got to stay with you. We went to like
Yeah.
the seaside for a little bit.
did. Yeah, good old
Uh,
British seaside.
And I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things was watching you, like literally work on this Book of Shadows that you made for
Yeah.
me.
God,
I got
yeah,
to
man.
see it in real time. I'm like, this is magical. Like, this is
And
super
there it
fun.
is.
Yeah.
Pride of
That was
place
super
on your
cool.
very nice book stand as well. See
Mhm.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm very, I keep things. I'm a good keeper.
Yeah. At the hand of Jaffna page, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hand of Fatima on the Jabna episode. Yeah. What's next? Okay. Then in 2019, 2020, 2020, that's the year I met Alyssa Milano. So I was kind of knocking them off. I met Alyssa in
Right.
New York in November of 2019. So this is right before everything went real crazy. And that I flew in for a day to New York. I flew in, I had a photo shoot, met her, spent the night, and flew out the next morning.
Wow.
It was all
So
for her.
you say you've met all 4 sisters.
Yes. Not at this point in my stories, but yes, I have met all 4.
So who's left? Shannon.
Oh, yeah. That she's coming up this year. So, okay, so met her. Then 2020, 2021, this podcast began. So we've been doing this podcast for over 2 years now.
Jeez.
So I'm very happy
Nice.
with this podcast, Words of the Witches.
Yeah.
2021, 2022, that's when I got inside the manor and interviewed the owner of the manor for the podcast. We got to talk about that, and I got a little tour of the house inside.
Very cool.
And I got to finally get my footage of like doing my telekinesis and closing the door. I did that right there at the actual manor.
I know. Amazing.
My dream. Like bucket list things checked off there.
Crazy, right? That house is just crazy being in person. It's
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it should be real.
I know. I'm like, it's like popped out.
The other streets around it are just completely normal, and then you turn into that street, and it's just all these like fantastically crazy houses.
Yeah, it's a whole conservancy there, and they do a really good job. Everyone's restoring the houses. People who own it are just like collaborating and trying to make it the best, pretty beautiful street ever. But it's also it's kind of around it. Yeah, it is kind of not a nice area actually.
Yeah. I was so surprised because I'm getting a taxi there, and the road looks really on TV. The road looks huge, and then you get there, and it's quite a small.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised how small the house looked as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big and grand as I was expecting, but it's crazy. It's a crazy experience to go there.
Exactly. So I think it's something that every Charm fan should try to do in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember just when I was younger, just dreaming about it, and now I've been there multiple times, and I go every time I'm in the area. So it's like I'm becoming so jaded a little bit because like that old thing.
There it is again.
But it's I mean still every time I go, even though as many times as I go, it still gives you with a sense of warmth, a sense of home. It's beautiful.
Yeah, agreed.
And then we get to this year, where I met Shannon. Finally, she was my favorite sister, and I was pining for her. I met Shannon 3 times in 3 months.
What?
I saw her. Yeah, I saw her in Connecticut at 90s Con, and that's when I dressed as Ms. Hellfire.
Oh yeah.
She loved it, and she still remembers me. People go to conventions now and they mention me like, "Oh yes, I'll never forget Mr. Hellfire." So I was like, "Ah!"
Right. Awesome.
And I got to bond with her. I talked about my mom. She was very comforting and very supportive, and that meant the world to me. Like Shannon is so amazing. So I met her there. Then I met her in Paris 2 weeks later after the first time, and then I met her in Indianapolis a month after that.
Jeez, that is dedication, man.
Yeah, it just happened that I was available, and then like this whole Julian and Alyssa thing, like it was nice to meet Alyssa and get professional pictures versus just the selfies I had from before.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Julian, I'm like, well, opportunity came up, I have to go, and I did.
Of course, yeah.
Just for a weekend.
It's a good convention, yeah.
It was good. I thought it was run really well. It was different than other conventions in the setup and formula, but it was organized in a way that you didn't feel like bored or that your time was wasted. And then because they called your number, you knew you were guaranteed to see them. A lot of times you go to conventions and you get in line and you'd be waiting and not get the chance. At least you knew that you were guaranteed your spot, and that's what was very kind of safeguarded that way.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And Julian's hands are huge.
Yeah.
I gave him a fireball to hold, and it didn't even fit on his hand. It just got like to the tips of his fingers. I was like, all right. Yeah, he's huge. And his accent is really funny because he's Australian, but he's been in America so long that it's like a weird Australian American kind of accent.
Right.
It's very bizarre. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. His dad was the Prime Minister of Australia for a while.
His father was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So
you've met a lot of the core cast then, most.
Yeah. And Michael Bailey Smith was on this podcast twice. I've met him. I've met Billy Zane. I've met Chris McCarpenter. I've met. Yeah. So yeah, it's been great. Dorian Gregory. I met Dorian this year too.
Yeah.
Drew Fuller a couple times and stuff. Yeah. So yeah. I met Finola and Wes. Yeah.
Oh, see, I've not met Wes. I've met Finola, but I don't think I've met Wes.
Yeah.
So. Oh damn. Who's left then? Who you got left?
Some people. I'm sure that, I mean, there's like a lot of people that are like guest stars. I would like to meet Victor Webster, because he was really supportive of this podcast too.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty much anybody.
sure you have plenty of opportunities.
Yeah. So there's my memories all down the years, the 25 years of Charmed.
Many. I'm sure there can be many more.
Hmm. But now we're going to get into the next section, which was
Mm,
another feat in itself. I've asked you to pick your top 25 episodes. I picked my 25 episodes. That's
yeah.
crazy for 178 episodes, 179 if you count the unaired pilot. That's a
Hmm.
lot to narrow it down to.
Yeah. Yeah, I struggled. I had to take a couple off. I
Yeah.
may
So
have missed a couple, but I think I've got. These
okay.
are the ones that I just tend to watch the most.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to like go back and forth and read one down the line, or do you want to just like
Yeah, I've not done them in any specific order.
okay,
I've just done.
okay,
So I started at season 1
okay,
and worked my way up to season 8.
okay. So then I'll
Um,
let you go. I'll let you do yours first, all the way down.
okay, so my first episode from season 1 is probably something Wicker This Way Comes, just purely
Okay.
because
Yeah,
there's certain scenes that I just absolutely love in it,
yeah,
and
definitely.
it just
It's a
I
great
think
pilot. They
yeah,
did the
it
job.
actually is really great. Yeah, yeah. What's your number one or your first one?
Okay, I'm gonna go down from 25 because I actually did put mine in order from ranking from 25
Okay,
to the one. So I'm gonna
right.
go from the top. Um, and the way I did this, see, this is not an infallible list. Like, if any other factors could be brought up to my attention, or they could be moved to different ways.
Hmm.
So it's tricky. But what I did is I ended up picking my top 5 episodes from each season, and then comparing those like 40 episodes together and see which one I liked the most. So
Right.
this was hard. So right at my number 25, the one that just made the cut, was season 7, episode 3, Cheaper by the Coven.
Okay. Fair.
I enjoy that episode a lot. It's very just fun. And I
Yeah, it's
love.
not my favorite, but
Okay,
it is a good episode. Yeah.
yeah, I like it because it brings Victor and Patty and Grams together. And I think
Hmm.
probably one of the first times where they actually really get to interact, and you get to see how they might have acted when they raised the kids together. Um,
Yeah.
and Alyssa's performance in that is super fun. So that's what makes
Hmm.
it for me.
Fair. Yeah. Nice.
Okay,
So my number 2. It's not like I said, they're not in
right.
any order, but Morality Bites, season 2, episode 2.
Yes,
That's a fantastic episode. That's probably one of my
fantastic.
favorite. Yeah, one of my top
Mm.
favorites for sure. Just
Oh
love
yeah,
it. It's just perfect episode, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah.
And I was shocked. I remember being very shocked when I watched that.
That's on my list. I'm not going to spoil where it is, but it's on my list.
Yeah, okay. At least we agreed there.
All right. My number 24 is, people might be surprised how like far back this episode is, but
Mm.
there's a lot of good episodes. 822 Forever Charmed, the finale. I thought it was a successful finale. I
Yeah,
mean, there's obviously things they couldn't do and the things they had to work around. Um, but I think the heart of the show was there, and that's what mattered. So that's why it's still on the list.
that's on my list too. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a good way to end it,
Hmm.
given what they could have done. I heard they was going to do something else. I did hear that Shannon possibly was going to come back for it, and I think they should have. But at the same time,
Yeah.
reappearing after 5 years away may have distracted a bit.
Hmm.
I
And
mean, but
that's why I love the ending of the comics, the season 10 comics, because it ties it all together with the Shannon
right.
ending. It's like, oh, this is what we needed from Forever Charmed, and they did it in
Mm.
the comics, and it was perfect.
I remember there was rumors, right? I
Yeah,
didn't think,
she's
but there was rumors that she was going to come back
people
for
say
it.
different things, but she did say that she was asked, and she decided not to because she didn't agree with what they were going to do with the character. She didn't think it was true to the character.
Right.
So I don't know. There's some stories there.
Yeah. But I think it's a great episode, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
See you
my
next.
next one. So basically, I'm working my way up from season 1 onwards. That's just the way my list.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, Pardon My Past, season 2, episode 14.
Okay.
That is probably one of my top favorite episodes. I just love it. I just love the aesthetics. I love the music. I just love the storyline and the costumes the girls wear and the.
It's definitely a time portal, and it's different. It's always cool when the show can branch out of their normal kind of spiel and do something wild and out there. And it's gorgeous. I mean, it keeps it in the family, it keeps it grounded, but in a
Yeah.
whole new setting and a whole new kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's just it's it's peak episode for me.
Yeah. So my number 23 is season 3, episode 7, Power Outage.
Okay,
Another
yeah.
fantastic episode from season 3. You mentioned why it struck a chord with you, why it kind of hooked you in.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah,
good. Yeah, it's a great episode.
yeah, and we get some more rules about how the power of 3 works.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the whole sister bond.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong episode. I think the season 3 is a great season overall.
It's my favorite season.
Yeah, I think maybe mine too. To be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least we agreed on that one then. So my next one is number 4. Season 1, episode 17, How to Make a Quilt Out of Americans.
Season 2, episode 17.
Oh, season 2. Yeah, sorry. Season 2, episode 17, How to Make a Quilt Out of Americans.
Yeah.
I just love that episode. There's something about it. I don't know. It's also the potion they use. The page in the Book of Shadows is one of my favorite pages.
And it's interesting because that's the first time that spell appeared, and then they kind of morphed it into other spells. It's like same words but different spell.
Yeah. There's a slight inconsistencies throughout the show with that potion and spell, but
That's true.
it's I think it's just a great episode. Great storyline, great demon.
And then it went on to become the Call of Lost Witch spell as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy. All right, my number 22. Season 8, episode 15, The Last Temptation of Christy. I really enjoyed that episode in season 8. It's a good one.
Is this one with the parents? The parents.
No. That's
That's really what this one is.
Mr. and Mrs. Witch, or that type of thing. Because that was season 8, episode 11. This is season 8, episode 15. And this is when Simon Thaddeus Marks comes for Paige. We get the really cool Henry dynamic, and that's what makes the whole Henry and Simon is really fun. He's a really enjoyable character to watch, even though you're not supposed to like him.
Is this one with the English whitelighter comes to get Paige to? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So,
it's good. It's a good episode. Yeah.
I think it's really fun. All right. So now, what's your next one?
So, season 2, episode 20, Astral Monkey.
Yes.
A great episode. It's just great. Like I said, you get a bit more insight into their powers and like how powers can be handled and stuff, and obviously with the monkeys.
Yeah,
monkeys
and the whole the Dr. Williamson death, the Piper reaction, that's really crazy.
Piper's reaction in the episode is
and I love the Prue monkey with the banana.
Yeah. It's a great episode.
And I remember downloading the screen captures of that and them all cuddling with monkeys. I was like, they're so cute. The little chimpanzees.
Monkey
yeah. So my number 21 is season 5, episode 18, Cat House. That's like the clip show episode, but I thought it was such a really well executed clip show episode. It took me down memory lane, and I really enjoyed that. It kind of gave Paige that moment to see some of the things she missed, and see the backside of Prue. It's fine, and Prue.
Very well done as well, though.
Yeah.
Episode,
What's funny about that scene is when they go to the wedding scene, that technically is the only time all 4 sisters are in the same scene at the same time.
Oh. It's
yeah,
that's a shame. It's a shame.
Right.
Shame we didn't get more of that. But that's it. So that was the last appearance of Kit, right?
Yes.
That episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is season 3, episode 4, All Hallowell's Eve.
Yes.
Great episode. It's just great settings, great storyline.
And that's not even on my list. How is that on? See,
No?
It's so hard. It's so crazy.
There's a lot. There's a lot. When you're very your obsession runs very deep. Let's just say so.
Every episode is loved by me in some way or another. Even
I was saying, there's no episodes that I'll turn off. It's just these ones that happen to be the ones that I'll watch.
Right, the most.
Yeah.
All right, I love that. Okay, I'm on number 20. So, to number 20 in season 1, episode 16, which proves it anyway. And
Oh yeah.
that it's so hard that it's so far for me because it's one of my favorite ones I love all the time. It's so good. Shannon's performance, all of them, it's differed and so perfect.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's kind of chilling, and you don't really fear the bad guy, but you do feel for Prue. So
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, it's a good episode. Yeah, that's one with the crystal sword.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when Andy surely must have been starting to think something was up.
Took him long enough. Come on now.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, he's like,
My
"Oh,
next one.
where your body was there, then it disappeared. Oh, how can you explain
Yeah,
it?"
explain that.
She's like-
Explain that.
and then she just looks at him like, "You're crazy. I don't know. It's just a sweater
Andy's
that
a
was
weird
in my
character.
closet."
Yeah, Andy from the first episode of Charmed is very like he knows about witches. He believes in witches, but then
Right.
like he's with one all the time, and he just doesn't
Yeah.
clock on. Yeah, very bizarre. Very bizarre. My next one is season 3, episode 7, Power Outage.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we agreed there. Yeah, I won't go into discussion that one, but that was the first episode that I ever saw. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that was the first episode, so that one's
It's up there.
it's a good starting point. To be honest,
Yeah.
if I'm not going to start at the beginning, it was a good place. It hooked me in. So,
All right, my number 19 is A Page from the Past, season 4, episode 10.
that
I know
almost
that
made my list. Great episode.
it's a great episode. It's because it's about the halfway point of season 4, roughly. So it's really great to like get to see some of Paige's backstory. We get to know Paige as she is currently, but now we get to see some of her past and how she was. What was she doing when like these kids were growing up in this manor and everything? And
Yeah,
that was really great.
yeah, it's a good episode. And Rose McGowan with braces.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so right, I'm so wrong. I'm supposed to come back as a ghost, not a ghost with braces. Yeah.
Yeah, she rocks it. She's a cool teenager. So my next one.
They all had braces except for Phoebe. Except for like Phoebe did not have braces in high school apparently because she is automatically perfect.
Oh, perfect Hollywood teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good episode where you see Phoebe as a teenager too.
Yeah.
So my next one is season 3, episode 10. We all scream for ice cream. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's not. There's probably episodes that I do enjoy more.
Yeah.
It's a great episode. It's a great episode.
It's funny because like
with Victor and Prue and the
yeah,
flashbacks and stuff.
I never thought of that as one of my favorite episodes, but it was always something that I went back to. I think it's one of the episodes that I actually recorded onto VHS tape. So I always had that. It's something like the imagery of that is very there and it's very noticeable and like
You got the demon children. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there's an ice cream van that goes around this in my local area that sounds very similar to that, so I get a little bit freaked out when I hear that.
Oh,
But it's
the Devil Squad.
yeah, the Book of Shadows page for the ice cream man is one of the best pages in my opinion.
It's beautiful.
Well.
I wanted to go. I'm such a crazy person. I was actually wanted to go and like collect a toy car of every car that was in that page.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Maybe I'll still do it. Find like old school ice cream trucks and do it.
Yeah. Just don't play the Devil's Called.
Yeah. All right. So where are we? So my number 18. We're getting closer. Is season 6, episode 16, The Courtship of Wyatt's Father. Such a good and season 6 is my least favorite season.
Right.
So it's nice that I had that at least that one on here because they did that so well. The whole Piper relationship, even handling like death. I love because they wanted to get Simon Templeman back, but then they had like Clarence, the specialty angel of death that only worked in these specific kind of situations. It's really cool. Ghostly plane and yeah,
that's a good episode. Yeah. that would have made. I did consider that one for mine, but I changed my mind.
Yeah.
So 6. I've only got a couple of seasons.
Oh my gosh, that's the only season 6 episode on my list.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. You win season 6 episode.
I've got 2.
All right.
Even though season 6 is not bad, I wouldn't consider it a bad season.
Oh
just
no,
not
it's
as the others.
right.
Yeah. My next one is So this is my number 9. Season 3, episode 22. All hell breaks loose. Obviously,
I mean, yeah,
how could it not be? It's a great episode. It's great. It's just great. The whole
everything.
episode for me is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Piper. It's always Piper. I think Piper's my favorite sister. I think.
I mean,
So
yeah.
it's just her acting. She's sassy. I love her powers, and I just think she's whenever she gets upset, you kind of like, oh,
You feel for her. You relate to her. You know.
Yeah.
That was great.
yeah, she is.
Okay, my number 17 is season 7, episode 13, Charmageddon. So
Is
that's
that the pirate one?
what?
What? I don't know. I'm not sure about this episode.
Charmageddon. So this is right
I'm a
after.
bit rusty. I'm a
this
bit
is-
rusty.
Yeah, this is the end of the Avatar arc.
Right.
So
Yeah.
right after they
Mhm.
got done with Utopia and they brought it back to their normal kind of status quo.
Yeah.
I mean, people make this is kind of controversial too. I actually like the Avatar arc a lot.
No?
I think it made it very because they're very interesting in the way that I talk about this all the time, but like they're unapologetic about what they want. They're very straightforward about what they want, and you know, they're definitely skewed, but they're very interesting kind of characters to me, a group of people. And this was good because they realized that they needed to embrace that humanity for them to like shake out of this crazy utopia. Like it's not utopia if you can't be human in it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's
There's
very
always
powerful.
consequences. There's
Mhm.
always consequences for world peace in these sort of TV shows.
Right.
So it's surprising though because the avatars pop up quite a few times over the shit series, don't they? Before they actually become main characters.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
they started with
probably-
trying to get coal, so it's like they planted those seeds.
Mm-hmm. Which is good writing.
Yeah.
So my next episode is season 4, episode 5, Size Matters. Because
Okay.
I love Robert England.
I know. I was
Robert
gonna say
England.
like it's a horror fan in you. A lot of people
Yeah,
who love the
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and it's not the best episode. It's a bit cheesy, but it's also like one of Paige's. It's one of the first episodes where Paige sort of comes into herself, I guess, and it's just a great episode, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's another iconic. People know it. You know.
And it's a great Page as well. It's got he gets his own book of shadow Page, so it's got to be good in my book.
That's where we get Paige and her lollipops. So we get
Yeah.
You know, Peppery has no belly button. We get all that stuff.
Exactly. Naughty.
Okay, where are we now? Oh, we're on. Okay, my number 16, season 1, episode 21, Love Hurts.
Okay.
I think that's my list. That's on my top 5 of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so good. I love the power switching. I think that was super cool and different. But what makes this too is Piper's determination, and how relentless she is. Because she's normally one that can be a little bit more wave. She's very much peacekeeper. She's very much going with the flow. This time she is firm in her beliefs. She's like, we're gonna save him whether we're meant to or not. She tells Daisy, "You're not going anywhere. He risked his life for you. You are not going anywhere. You're gonna stay in this house, bitch." Like, like I love watching her. She's so amazing in it.
Yeah, it did make my list, but it's a good episode.
Yeah. Okay.
So my next one is season 4, episode 7, Brain Drain.
And there's a Buffy episode like that too. The same script, kind of like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's a great concept, and it's always fun to see him sort of because the manor's transformed into a mental institution, and get to see the sisters sort of acting a bit off-brand. And it's the Source as well, because I think I'd really enjoy the Source overall storyline of the Source. So it's made my list for sure. Great prop as well with the brain drain book of shadows.
Yeah. My number 15 is season 2, episode 14, Part of My Past. I mean, that had to make the list.
It's just great, right?
So great.
It's one of the episodes. If I was going to introduce people to Charmed, it would be one of the ones I'd probably show them.
Yeah, and it's episodes like that where it's like kind of self-contained. You don't need to know what happens before or after this, just what's happening in this episode. and
Mhm,
can
mhm.
still enjoy it. Those are the best to like introduce people to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get to see more of the cousins, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know there was a trailer going around somewhere on Twitter recently or Facebook, and it was just like,
Well,
uh,
I knew all about that because I know who made it,
right.
and
If only that was true. That would be that's a
I
way
know.
to do it.
I
That
mean,
would be cool.
it's still kind of hoping. So they're gonna come on this podcast eventually and talk about the process of that once they're ready to reveal themselves.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a journey with that Warrens, so it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised. There's so much they could do with it. There's so much they can. The fan base is still there.
Yeah, for sure.
The fans would
Absolutely.
eat it up.
It's like we just need to get the studios make the studios like believe us that it's a
Yeah.
market.
Yeah,
So
so true. My turn.
yep.
Yeah. So the next one is season 4, episode 13, Charmed and Dangerous.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Yeah.
Just great.
That's like
I
the
love the
all
way
hell
it
breaks
starts.
loose of season 4.
Yeah, it's just the way the episode starts, where it's just like complete pandemonium, right?
Yeah.
In terms of its premonition. Love it. I just love that, and I love the way they've got to like find different ways to instead of relying on the powers, and plus it's the introduction of the Hollow, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great episode.
You got it. All right. My number 14, season 8, episode 10, Veo con Leos. Another super powerful. I'm an emotional person, so anytime there's crying and then there's sadness and there's despair and there's sentimentality, I'm like eat it up like crazy. So so that one, Leo going away and Piper, I have to lose you to save you.
God, yeah. That was
so-
a stressful episode.
And another,
Because I remember there was a whole controversy about like the budgets had been cut, right, or something for season 8. So they were like, it was kind of, I'm not sure the overall reason for it, but I remember there being like, what, Leo's been taken away? He's what do you mean Leo's gone? But it kind of made sense in the overall arc, like to make the girls get prepared for the final battle. So
and the thing is, like, us fans, we knew before season 8 started that he would be leaving too.
right,
So
that wasn't. I don't think I was.
they weren't a secret. They knew that the budget cuts right from the start of the season that he would be limited. But it's still very sad. And I remember being very resentful, like, oh, they had to bring a new character in. They had to bring Billy in, but they get rid of our favorite. I was so mad.
This was what I was. I remember. Yeah, I remember thinking exactly the same thing. Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm sorry, Billy. I like you. You're okay. Fine. It's okay.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, the same. But it also makes it better, makes it worthwhile for when he gets returned in Kill Billy vs. Volume 2
It
as well.
does make a lot of drama. It makes it so powerful when he comes and she's like, I don't want you to come back to this.
Yeah. It's like the first thing he sees is Cradle.
So I mean, it's like this moment of happiness combined with this moment of despair. It's like this is see the writing on the show.
It's great.
Even season 8, people.
Season 8, I really enjoy season 8. To be honest with you.
Yeah. All right.
So my next one is season 4, episode 22. Which way now?
Okay. So you got some
Because
Bruce Campbell
Bruce
in there.
Campbell.
I know.
Campbell.
I kind of see your reasonings.
Yeah, and it's just an episode that I watch quite a lot because you get the whole sort of resolution with Cole. Well, I say resolution. It's kind of the start as well because that's when he comes back as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's a great spell page. It's a great spell. Great. Get to see the wasteland and Piper's freezing the. I love the way she just opens the door and Bruce Campbell just sort of freezes the van, and then they do the spell in the house. I think it's great.
It's fun. It's super fun.
Yeah.
I think of like, God, given assets, and she goes down with the lemonade.
Yeah. True page style. Yeah.
I do love Piper's bewitched little thing in there too.
Oh yeah.
All right, where am I? Oh, my number 13, season 3, episode 11, Blinded by the White Lighter.
Great episode.
That's such a fun little episode. I mean, the way that they trash talk Natalie, the like the fighting training sequences, the weird like talking.
Oh yeah. It very nearly made my list. It's a great episode.
I mean, it's the iconic Piper Frosia moment. Like, yep.
Yeah. See, The train, yeah, I love that the training montage with the girls
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
sneakers and stuff. Yeah, it's a good episode.
It's so good.
Yeah, good choice.
Hmm.
So my next one is season 5, episode 6, The Eyes That Have It.
Yeah, that's another very popular.
It's just really it's because you get to see Phoebe with her super powerful premonitions, where she's literally projected herself into her future self.
Yeah, it's called.
And this great enemy,
Yeah,
Oren.
Oren. Yeah, another horror guy, Saw
Yeah,
guy.
no, yeah, because I'm guessing this was this before or after Saw? Must have been maybe during.
I don't remember. Oh,
But I have very fond memories of that because I remember that back when I was like 16, there used to be this website that used to sell charm pages,
oh,
and
yeah.
I used to help the woman. I used to help the woman who ran the website. I used to help her design the pages, and then she would sell them on. And I remember
Cool.
just making this page with Aren, this Book of Shadows page, and it's always sometimes it still pops up in replicas that you see online. And I just think, oh,
You know who else was in there too? The lady that played the Gypsy was in The Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi.
oh yes, it's a great film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, great movie.
Okay. My number 12 is season 1, episode 9, The Witch is Back.
Ah, yes, that nearly made my list.
Oh,
yeah.
Melinda Warren.
Mm-hmm.
She's so fantastic.
Yeah. Underused. She should have been in many more episodes, I think.
She's so great. Well, she kind of quit doing screen work. She went to the theater, so. And she became a teacher, and so.
Right. But it's a great episode because,
so wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Good choice.
Lots of feels in that one too.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're getting down to it. Okay.
Next one. Season 5, episode 8, A Witch in Time.
Okay. Yes.
Is that on yours? I'm not sure.
It's on my top because I made a top 5 list. It's on my top 5 season 5 episodes, but it didn't make the list. It was like it was close.
It's just it's a great episode. I think it's just a fun episode.
Yeah, it's my 3rd favorite episode of season 5.
Sweet.
According to my list.
We agreed there. Yeah, it's just a great episode.
It's so good.
A lot of time travel. Time travel never hurts anyone.
Right. Where are we now? This is number 11.
Ooh.
Season 7, episode 5, 6 Feet Under.
You got to remind me of that one.
This is the one where Angel of Death comes back and recruits Piper.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So she's just walking down the street giving Death some lip, and he's just like, Ed.
I mean, it is such a beautiful episode. I mean, anytime Simon Templeman comes back too as an Angel of Death, he's amazing, and that's another reason why I like Violet Cornelius too. But even just the characters, the husband and wife, the one whose husband got killed, and his goodbye to his wife and everything. It's such heaviness to it, and such a very wonderful way of displaying that, and very emotional, and it's beautiful, and yeah. And then like her having to like possibly take Paige into the light, and her learning to let go of all of her anger and fear and sadness and just do the job.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the villain in that a lot too. Another horror guy.
Where's he from?
He was in.
This is the dude that's half a demon, right? And he has to kill his family members to become full demon.
Cirque. Yeah. He was the guy in Christmas Story, the building Christmas Story. He's also in he's in a movie with Shannon Doherty, actually, a Piranha movie or something like that. He was in Titus and stuff like that.
There's a theme going here.
Yeah. But he was cute to me. I like him a lot too.
Yeah. It's good demon design too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in. I think I've seen him in some other stuff. I'm going to check that out. My next one is Itumami Tambien.
Okay.
Because with this one, I had when I first went to university, I remember having this huge poster of
Yeah,
Alyssa
I
Milano.
remember the WB poster. Yeah,
Yeah, and which caused a bit of confusion with my classmates because I was sat with this giant poster of a half-naked charm
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
So,
Like, are you sure you're gay or
yeah,
whatever?
that was my little. But great episode,
For sure.
and great page. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So we're breaking my top 10 now. We're in my top 10. So
Go for it.
my number 10 is season 4, episode 1. Charmed Again, part 1.
Yeah, you
I
enjoy
mean,
that one, yeah?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to, right?
yeah. I mean, I like part 1 more than part 2.
Mhm.
It was really well done. I mean, we got the grief that we were feeling. We got the, questioning, but willing to learn about Paige, and it was a really well done episode.
Yeah, I think they deal with it really well, and I think, and obviously you got the shock because the season 3 finale, you don't know what's happened, do you?
No.
So it opens up and Piper's straight away trying to resurrect Prue, and you're just like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Because I've been watching a lot of people do reactions on YouTube
Oh, sure.
for the first time, and they're always like they're shocked. They're actually shocked. So it's
Yeah.
I think they did very well. Plus Rose McGowan, so win-win.
Mm-hmm.
My next one is this is 17 out of 25 for me. Season 5, episode 12, Centennial Charmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, with where Paige sneezes and ends up in an alternate dimension.
Yeah.
It's the right episode, right? I got
That's
that
right.
right.
Yes, that's the 100th episode. Yeah.
Yeah, on Cole's birthday, and that's when they finally vanquish Balthazar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great episode. I just love it. It's just a great episode, to be honest.
Yeah.
Alternate reality Piper, which is like,
And that's the avatars are in that too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
So, okay. So now my number 9, season 2, episode 18, Chick Flick.
Oh, it's a great episode.
Chick Flick.
Yeah, great episode. It almost made my list, but it didn't.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great episode. That is a great episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun. It reminded me very much. Do you remember? I don't know if you used to watch Boy Meets World. There's a Boy Meets World episode that's kind of horror-y, like, where it's just like tongue in cheek. It's very fun. It's a thrill, but not. It's like cartoon thrills.
I never watched it.
Oh my gosh, those kind of
No.
funs where it's like this, like just fun danger. And there's lots of humorous situations that arise from that fun danger, and that's why Chick Flick is so amazing.
And the Pleasantville vibes. Where
Yeah.
it's like black and white.
Yeah,
And they paint
and they're being self-aware. It's during the Scream, being aware and being meta, and
Mhm.
being aware of the rules and making fun of them.
Yeah.
So,
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice. So my next one is season 5, episode 15, The Day the Magic Died. Yeah. Just love it. I just just seeing all like the warlocks and all the demons and stuff just like completely powerless, and then plus Wyatt's being born, and seeing the girls kick ass with like candle bombs and smoke bombs and
Yeah,
knuckle dusters and all the rings and stuff. Great
It's
episode,
great.
yeah.
yeah. And then we got the chandelier glowing again, which is weird. And Stanley, don't forget Stanley. His name shall
Yeah.
live forever in infamy. Like,
It's just, it's good. It's a great episode. Great episode.
all right, my number 8. See, this is so hard because a lot of these are like my favorites. So, number 8 is season 3, episode 18, San Francisco. Oh,
Good choice.
oh, I
Yeah.
love that one so much.
Yeah.
Because they did a great job with the sins. They all portrayed their sins perfectly. Me and my Prue obsession, my Prue love, I was like, oh, she's so good. Even though she's proud of herself, I'm like, if I got a sin, I'd get pride too. Like, I'm like, I don't care. And I
She's
thought,
funny.
I always thought
Yeah.
the sin box was so beautiful. I was so happy when I finally got like a prop of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a great page as well.
yeah,
One of my favorite pages
Yeah.
in the books.
so pretty.
Yeah. Good choice. Good choice. So my next one is this is a double. I put it down as one,
It's
but
high?
it's a double episode.
Okay.
It's season 5 finale. Oh my goddess.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I think that can be counted as one, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
This is a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Introduction of Chris
Yeah.
and the gods, seeing the sisters as goddesses.
Yeah.
Brian
people-
Krause. Oh, not
Uh-huh.
Brian Krause. Brian Thompson from
Yeah. Buffy.
as Luke in Buffy. He plays
Mhm.
one of the gods,
Yeah.
the Titans, and it's a great page in the Book
Yeah.
of Shadows as well. I think
Yeah.
a lot of my episodes seem to be focused on some of the biggest pages of the book. I guess because I focus a lot on the Book of Shadows.
That
I
makes
guess.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because people love the Oh My God episodes. I
Yeah.
always liked them, but I never like fell into like the like oh my God I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
'Cause I think season 5 is actually. I've got a lot of episodes on my list from season 5,
okay.
so season 5 is probably one of my favourites by the
Yep.
looks of it.
Yeah, must have a lot of good Book of Shadows pages in that season.
Yeah. I think that's great
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
All right, my number 7 is season 4, episode 13, Trump to Dangerous. We talked about it.
That's so great, right? It's just
It's
I
great.
love I just love the chaoticness of it.
hmm And when there
And
is like when there's very real danger that you are not sure how they're gonna get out of it, that's good drama, you know.
yeah, it is. It's one of the episodes. If I'm ever in the mood to just watch Charmed, it's probably Charmed and Dangerous that I'll put on.
Yeah.
To be honest, because I just love it. The music, I love the score, the music in it is, and it's just I love the way it's just from the moment it starts, it's just chaos.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, so
Yeah.
good choice. We agreed there then.
Mm-hmm.
So this is number 20 for me out of 25. Season 6, episode 4, Power of Three Blondes.
Yeah, it was on my list for a little bit. It got kicked off, but it was on my list because that's my second favorite episode of season 6.
Yeah. It's.
So-
I think that's one of 2 on my list from season 6. It's definitely it's just one of my favorite episodes of Charmed. I think.
Yeah.
It's just so fun and so camp and so.
Absolutely. And I think it's very. I don't know if you ever got this, because I always say that because she never got the orbiting when they stole the power. She's like, oh, that's supposed to be my power. She didn't get that, but she did get the telekinesis. And
yes, I always wondered this.
You know this because of the way that the doors in the conservatory fling closed.
Oh,
You don't actually see her do it, but she was using telekinesis that she got from the Trump power.
Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But why didn't she get the powers? The Orbin powers, though.
Because it's from the white lighter part, not the Charmed part of her.
You can't steal those.
Right.
Yeah.
Because also she had the white lighter powers before she was even a Charmed one. Remember she did it in her page. So. Yeah.
So that opens up an interesting thing because then how were the girls doing? How were Piper, Phoebe, and Prue doing powers? Oh, I guess they were together, weren't they?
When
when they were kids, they had already received their powers then, right? But they're just not as Charmed ones.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I never caught that.
Yeah. So I always like to put that out. It's a cool little thing in that episode.
Yeah. I've never. That's the first I've heard of that. To be honest, I've had to give it a watch. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So my next episode is season 6, episode 10, Crisscrossed.
Yes, that's my third favorite episode of season 6. So all these episodes didn't make my 25 list, but they're on my top 5 season 6 episodes.
Right. Yeah, it's a great episode. Love a bit of a flash forward and get to see Evil Wyatt
And that's when we get Hallowell Museum, and that's when I'm like, I want to buy Hallowell Manor and make my museum there. It's my dream now.
Why hasn't that been done? You know what? I don't understand. That the owner of the Charmed house should just open it up as like a museum and a bed and breakfast.
Stop renting out the upstairs to losers and just charge a museum. Yeah. Because the people that live there now, I'm not because they rent out the upstairs. I don't know if you knew this.
Well, no.
You can like rent from them and live in the upstairs part of it. And people that live there now are not. They're just taking advantage of the fame of it. They don't care about Charmed. They're not respectful of the Charmed name. You shouldn't live there. Just saying.
I didn't realize anyone lived there at all.
Yeah, they've had different people throughout the years. They rent it, move out, rent, and they have new people come in, and so.
Jeez.
But yeah.
I would. Yeah. God damn.
All right. Oh my gosh, my number 6, season 1, episode 4, Dead Man Dating.
Great episode and great music.
Fantastic. That's the one where, because you're getting season episode 4, so you're like in it and you're like, oh man, this is it. This is it.
Quite a harsh episode too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was listening because I've got a couple of songs on my phone that have been like from Charmed, and there's a song.
We're gonna do a bonus episode on the music of Charmed, just like the ones that play, and
Yeah,
because it's a mood. Every season's a mood of the music that they
yeah,
choose. So
yeah, and that's why it's annoying when they sit there and change the music on streaming websites because it does change the episode.
yeah, feels not right.
Yeah, some people see, but then people who watch it for the first time wouldn't know that, but then it's a different experience. It does,
Right.
and it does. It's a big difference.
Mhm.
Big difference, but great episode. So my next one this is number 22 out of 25. Season 7, episode 19, Freaky Phoebe.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not sure if is that not on your list, that one?
it's not on my list, but I do like
No.
it a lot.
I love the demon,
Okay,
Amara. Yeah,
Amara, she is everything. Yeah.
and I just love seeing Phoebe like all sassy and
Yeah, I mean, I think that is on my top 5 season 7 at least.
right.
It didn't make my 25 list, but it's on my top, because one of the episodes, and it's so funny. And then Alyssa's performance in that, she's like, ah!
Yeah,
It's like, do you have a permission? Yeah, a really big one.
yeah. It's a great episode. Great episode. Yeah.
Oh, I crack up. Oh. So I don't know how you got so much ahead of me, but I'm on number 5 now. So this is my top 5, the best of the best.
Oh yeah, I'm 2 ahead of you. How did
Yeah.
that happen? I must
Yeah.
skip one. Maybe I'll skip one.
Yeah.
Oops.
But my number 5 is All Hell Breaks Loose. People might think, why is that? It's like further up. I mean, it's number 5. But obviously iconic. It's amazing. But it's not my favorite of the favorite. But it's still in the top 5. Just made that. So it's a beautiful, perfect. I mean, it's just great.
It's just a great episode.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's one I always go back to.
Yeah.
Somehow I'm on my top 3 already, so
Okay.
I skipped one.
Okay. Maybe you want me to do my other 2 first, so we're at the top 3?
Yeah.
Let me do my other 2. Okay.
Mhm.
My number 4 is season 1, episode 17, that 70s episode.
Okay. So when they go back in time, this is the Nicholas Must Die spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great episode.
We see Grams and Patty for the first time. We see them as kids.
Mhm.
See, you're gonna find like my favoriteest of the favoriteest are the ones that deal with their journey, the personal lives, their relationship as sisters, and as in a family life. Those are my kind of favoriteest episodes. So that same episode is one of them like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not one that I would specifically go for, but it's
Yeah.
one that I do enjoy watching when I get to it. Yeah.
So likewise, my number 3 is season 3, episode 17, Pre-Witched.
Season 3, episode 3.
17.
17. Okay, that's the one. So this is the one where you find out what happened to Grams, right?
And we get to see those
and you
flashbacks.
see them having the photo taken.
Yeah, how the photos taken, the flashbacks to like right before, like maybe a few months before the first episode, and yeah, I guess we about 6 months. No, it was about 6 months before the first episode because she was in New York for 6 months. So, they have those same kind of looks. It's Kit's there and the sisters are there. It's I love it so much. And then and the demon, the shadow thing, and they talk about grief and loss.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
I nearly
Sleeveless.
made my list, but not quite.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Okay.
So you're in the top 3 now, right?
I'm in the top 3. That was my that was my top 3. So I'm at number 3. Yep.
Okay, so this is my last 3. Again, this is in no order, but these are, So, season 7, episode 22, Something Wicked This Way Goes.
Yeah.
Love it. I love Zanku. I think Zanku's a great villain.
Yeah.
And I also love, I remember watching that on TV when that aired. That was one of the seasons that I definitely did watch. And I remember going down, I was thinking, oh my God, this is this actually could be how they go out. This could,
right. I really love that episode as a finale, as a season finale. People said they wished it ended there. I would not have been happy if it ended like that.
No,
it's not a series finale. It doesn't give you what you need for a series finale, but for a season finale, it does do what it does. It needs to do.
It's one of my favorite season finales.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just a great episode. Great spell. It's a great spell as well. And just the way it ends, and great episode.
All right, my number 2, top 25 Charmed episodes is season 5, episode 20, Sense and Sensibility.
You got to explain.
That's the one where they lose their senses and
Oh, right, okay, yeah. I thought maybe the monkey totem.
pure shenanigans.
Yeah.
Hilarity. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Because I like a lot of episodes with a lot of heart, a lot of sentimentality. This is just pure camp, pure fun, pure joy. I
Yeah.
giggle so
And we've
much.
got the crone,
Yeah, the crone.
right? Yeah. This is where you're remembering episodes based on their name. I remember episodes based on either a prop or
Right.
character.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, great episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see the marketplace, right?
Marketplace. You get the monkey totem.
Yeah. Monkey totem. Yeah. Great episode. Good choice.
Yeah.
Is that your second
That's
best?
number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because all of if I need a good laugh, that's where I go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, it's great episode. So these are my final 2, but this isn't in the order. These
Right.
aren't my specific favorite
Yeah.
episodes. But Kill Billy Volume 2.
Okay. Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Just
I
love
mean,
it.
it's kind of
Amazing.
to me, it feels like very much a two-parter with Forever Charmed. I mean, they really go together hand in hand.
Yeah.
So,
So I may have to come up with another 25th one then, because I put that as my next one. But
okay.
it's true. It is. But I just love it. That's literally one episode I always go back to. I love the fight scene in it. Is you see the manor explode
Mhm.
and
Yeah, intense.
I just remember like there's a scene like the scene where they confront each other and Christy says something like you should have trusted your instincts and Billy's like there won't be a next time.
Yeah,
Piper
next time,
just
there'll be
keeps-
next time. We don't need any
Yeah.
potions. Their shirt.
Yeah, we don't need it. Yeah, that's exactly one of my shirt. But there's just the way Piper gives her this like little. She shakes her head a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, you're done. And it
Yeah.
was-
And
that was yeah.
I have a picture you drew of them in the final battle.
Oh,
That
yeah,
picture you
I
drew is beautiful. I have it over there. I hung it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
love it. It's just
You're
a
so
great.
good.
I love the visual. The visuals of the episode is just great. One of my favorite fight scenes in the whole Charmed, I think. Even though it's kind of Harry Potter esque, it's a great fight scene, and the Hollow as well. That's
Yeah.
against the Hollow.
So my number one, right? My number one favoritist episode.
Go
If you're
for it.
paying attention, you can know what it is. It's Morality Bites.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely one of my tops. Great episode. What's your reasons for?
I think it's the perfect representation of what the show stands for. Because you get to see how they relate to each other as sisters, as they're learning about being witches as well. What's more, and they have to really struggle with what's more important to them, their sisterhood or the innocence, and what are the repercussions of them going off the rails? How can this go crazy? I mean, they often forget the lessons they learned in this episode in the future, but it's such a beautiful, and then the whole Piper and Leo dynamic as well. And then it's a lot of fun too, seeing what they were in this future. And that's one too. I talk about this when I do the comics because Prue is blonde in the comics. I'm like, so it's leading up to this future. It's coming true still.
Because obviously that was a glimpse of Prue that we never got.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because she would have been super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good choice. That definitely ranks in one of my top episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've got one more left on my list, but it's Forever Charmed, which kind of links into the thingy. But it's a good episode. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's definitely one that I'll watch, but I'll watch it at the same time as I'm watching Volume 2 of Kill Billy. So
yeah.
But season, that's a long list.
This was a journey. It took longer than I thought it would, but we had lots to talk about. So happy 25th anniversary, Charmed.
Yeah, happy 25th anniversary.
This was a fun little way to honor you.
And thank you for having me on. I've been meaning to for a while, so it's a good opportunity.
You were always on my radar to come on, and maybe we'll have you on again soon. Now that you've done it and it wasn't too scary.
First podcast, no, it's fun.
Yeah. Thank Gerardo. I'm using you on the poster for this episode. That he made of one of the pictures he made of you. I'm wearing his shirt.
Very nice.
And so and happy birthday when this comes out. It'll be your birthday. So
thank you very much. Happy Charmed birthday to you.
Yes, thank you. So thanks for joining me. Where can people find you and see what you're doing if you want them to?
Facebook normally, but I don't really tend to post much at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be around at some point.
Okay. Yeah. And you can follow this podcast at Words of the Witches, all places, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We're Words of Witches on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Whatever. And yeah, so enjoy this little bonus. We'll be back later in the month to continue with 1,000 Deaths. Let's do the Dynamite comics next. So, yay.
Nice one. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining me. This was amazing.
You're welcome. Nice to talk to you.
All right. See you later, spell worders. Your destiny still.
Yeah.